Welcome into Texans Today, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, coming up on today's program, breaking down the latest Texans news and rumors coming out of training camp. And let's just get started with some news that happened today. The Texans working out some more guys. They've already made some signings this past week. They're working out another guy. This time, a guy from Houston, went to U of H, Greg Ward, former quarterback, also plays wide receiver in the NFL. The last time he was really playing in the league for the Philadelphia Eagles, this was a stat line: 7 receptions, 95 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, Greg Ward obviously would love to have him on the squad. Don't know how he fits with the Houston Texans team this year, but Texans keep on working out more people, adding to this roster during training camp. And to make sure you are always notified, hey, I was on a road trip back from Houston whenever the Cam Akers news came out. I pulled over on the side of the road, stopped at a Buc-ee's, used the restrooms, of course, got some beaver nuggets, got some goodies, and then I made a Cam Akers video for you because I have that commitment to excellence here on the channel. I want to bring you the best Texans content, the most up-to-date Texans content that I possibly can. So if you want to be notified, if you want to know every time the Texans make a move, make sure to hit that sub button, click the notification bell, and select the all option. So whenever there's anything going on around the team, you'll be notified. And you'll be notified when later this week, some breaking news here for Texans Today. I'm going to be interviewing a former Texans player. Go down in the comment section, put your guesses on who it might be. But yes, this week I'm going to be interviewing a former Texans player, asking him all about the team, asking him about how he thinks this squad's going to perform this year, and how he thinks J.J. Watt might have a comeback this year. That's coming on later this week. Put your guesses on who you think it might be, but I'll have that interview for you later on in the week. So let's get into our Texans rumors for this week. If you don't know, I'm going to give it Toro heads. If I give it 1, 2, and might happen 3 or 4, it's more likely. So that's how the rumor heads work. First up, Dameon Pierce. Is he on the hot seat now that the Texans signed Cam Akers? I'm going to give this one Toro head. I mean, it's a little bit, but not really. Like the Texans yesterday, they signed Cam Akers, the former Vikings and Rams running back. And yes, he has a lot of potential. Played well for the Rams for spurts, but has a ton of injury history along with him. A lot of baggage on that end. But Cam Akers, I think he's going to be more of like the RB3, RB4, going to be battling with guys like Agumbawale, Jawar Jordan, Britton, Taylor, those back into the roster guys. I think he's going to be competing more with them than Dameon Pierce, in my opinion. But what say you? Do you think Dameon Pierce will be the RB2 this year? Give me a yes, give me a no down in the comment section. Let me know what you have to say. I think Dameon Pierce will be the RB2 for this season. I think Joe Mixon, he's obviously your RB1, your bell cow back. And then you have Dameon Pierce at RB2. So I really do think it's going to come down to those two guys. And then, like I said, you're going to have Cam Akers really competing with guys like Jawar Jordan and Agumbawale as well on the back end. So I still believe Dameon Pierce. I believe everything that DeMeco Ryans has said this offseason, saying Dameon Pierce looks fantastic. He looks in great shape. He looks like he's more decisive this year during training camp. I want to believe all of those things. Now, there was a little bit of, concerning news here in the running back room as well, because Dameon Pierce was taking RB1 snaps during practice today because Joe Mixon was out of practice. He's been out of practice the last few days, and DeMeco Ryans said, Joe will be fine. I'm not worried about Joe at all. So maybe just a little bit of lingering stuff. This point in the season, they don't want to push these guys too far. We see it with Jeremy Chuggs. He had that scope surgery on his knee, has not practiced yet. They're not pushing these guys. They're guys who they know are going to make the team, and they know they're going to be on the roster. Obviously, you want that continuity. You want these guys to be out there kind of getting warmed up, ready for the season. But with guys like Joe Mixon and Jeremy Chuggs, they're not going to push it whatsoever. So I'm not worried about this, but just wanted to throw it out there because Aaron Wilson does do some of the best reporting around the NFL and obviously around your Houston Texans. I'll get more into that in just a moment, but today's show wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our friends over at Game Time. Go check them out today. Where are my baseball fans at? The Astros are currently in first place in the division, and the easiest way to score last-second tickets is with our sponsor, Game Time. You can get great deals on last-second tickets and even see your seat view before you buy the tickets. All-in prices show you what you pay without hidden fees or expenses, and Game Time has zone deals. You pick the section, Game Time picks the seats for an average savings of 18%. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. My favorite way, the only way I use to get tickets in today's day and age is with the Game Time app. So go check them out today. A great sponsor. So glad to have them back. Like I said, last-minute tickets when you need it. If you have a significant other and you're like, damn, I really want to check out, do something different for a date night. I want to take them out on the town. Game Time is the app for you. I can't tell you how many last-second dates I've taken Danny on from Game Time. I mean, comedy shows, theater, music events, everything you want to do in your city, it's on the Game Time app. So once again, go check them out today and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. You will not regret it. Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Next up, should we be worried about Christian Harris and his injury? I might be a contrarian here. I might be, on the outlier. I'm going to give this one 3 Toro heads. I'm a little bit nervous. And being a Texans fan, you know why I'm nervous. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But Christian Harris, he's missed the past couple of days with a soft tissue injury in his leg. And he's been a big part of what this Texans team wants to do on the defensive side of the football. They brought in Azeez Al-Shaair, but really Christian Harris is supposed to be that next guy up, that other guy in the linebacking room who's supposed to take a step up and be a leader on this Texans defense. And if you want to know why I'm worried about Christian Harris, why I gave it 3 Toro heads, I'm just going to show you this picture and you'll know. Real ones know. The real ones know why I'm worried about this, and it's because of this man right here. With soft tissue injuries in the leg, there's no timetable for return. We don't know when Christian Harris will be right. And if you know anything about Will Fuller and his time with the Houston Texans, you understand this perfectly, because soft tissue injuries might be the worst in all of sports. Because like I said, there's no definitive, they'll be back at this time. It's really just how fast your muscles heal. And it's different for every single person. For Will Fuller, his hamstrings were made out of cotton candy, unfortunately. So he was always injured, could not get past those injuries whatsoever. And I'm praying Christian Harris is not in the same boat. Because as we look at this Texans depth chart, there's really not a lot of wiggle room behind Christian Harris if you're looking at guys to replace him. You have Azeez Al-Shaair, you have Christian Harris. They're undoubtedly your 1 and 2 best linebackers. But behind them, you have a ton of unprovens. You have Henry To'o going into his second year out of Alabama. It shows a lot of potential, but I'm not ready to say, oh, yeah, I'm confident in Henry To'o to be the second best linebacker in our room. You have Neville Hewitt, who's been more of a special teams guy, can play linebacker for you. You have Del'Shawn Phillips, who came over from the Ravens, been a rotational guy. You have Jacob Phillips, who's been injured his entire career with the Browns. Then you have Jamal Hill, the late-round pick out of Oregon. The Texans need Christian Harris this season. They absolutely need him to be on this squad and be an important part of this defense. And if he's injured, if he's not ready to go week 1, that's going to be a big problem. All indications has been that he will be ready to go week 1. But like I said, if you're a Texans fan, those soft tissue leg injuries really have a sore spot for you, because we've been through this song and dance with Will Fuller of, it's just a soft tissue injury and it's like, he'll be fine. And it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, and he still wasn't ready to go. So that's why I'm a little worried about Christian Harris and his soft tissue injury. Like I said, it's different with every person. I can't judge Christian Harris and how he's going to be based on other guys, but just my experience with NFL players and these soft tissue injuries, I think it's some of the worst in sports. Not that it, hurts the player more. It's just you don't know when you're ready to get back, because it could be that, slight thing of you think you're ready, you go back out there and you re-aggravate it. So you want to be sure that you're fully ready to go, and that's why I think Christian Harris, they're playing it very safe with him, making sure that he is ready to go week 1. Lastly, Malik Fisher, the UFL signing that they made last week. Is he going to be making this roster? I'm going to give this one 2 Toro heads. I'm going to say there's about a 50-50 shot. At first, whenever they signed him, I was like, the UFL guy, I don't think he's going to make the roster. I mean, what are the odds? You know, a UFL guy. How many of those guys do you see really making an impact in the league right now? Not a ton. But Malik Fisher might be a little different. I saw this from Aaron Wilson, and it kind of made me raise an eyebrow. Texans, Malik Fisher deal. 3-year deal. A 3-year contract for Malik Fisher, $2.83 million. Very interesting. Not a lot of guaranteed money, so it's not like the Texans are really tied down hard to Malik Fisher, but there's a reason why they gave him a 3-year contract. They think he could be a really good player. He was second in all of the UFL in sacks last season with 7, 6'3", 262 pounds out of Villanova. Could this be somebody that the Texans got really sneakily on a 3-year deal that can really perform and be a rotational guy for this team? Because I've said it before and I'll say it again, the depth on this team really does worry me with who they'll have behind Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Obviously, those are going to be your top guys. They're going to be playing most of the snaps for you. But your rotational guys, I mean, you have Jerry Hughes, the older veteran that you re-signed, Dylan Horton, coming back from beating cancer. Will he be ready to go this season? You have Derek Barnett, who you signed off waivers last year. And Mario Edwards, what I'm hearing, he might be more of an inside guy. So I think this could be a really good opportunity for Malik Fisher, and he could find his way on the final 53-man roster. That's all I have for you on today's show, folks. As always, follow me on social media at Jeremy Chuggs, at Jeremy_Chuggs on IG, giving you more Texans content all throughout the year. I mean, whenever I'm not doing videos, I'm usually trying to keep you all up to date on my social media. And my DMs are always open. If you want to talk shop, if you want to talk ball, I'm always down to chop it up. So hit me up on social media at Jeremy Chuggs, at Jeremy_Chuggs on IG. And I'll be putting some of my clips from the interview with a Texans player that I have later this week. Stay tuned because that is coming later on this week. I'm really excited to get to chop it up with him.